Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Placed or kept separate and distinct as for a purpose. Had a feeling of being set apart. Into parts or pieces. He took his father's watch apart. Not taken into account or excluded from consideration. These problems apart, the country is doing well. Remote and separate physically or socially. Existed over the centuries as a world apart. Having characteristics not shared by others. Scientists felt they were a group apart. Out of the way, especially away from one's thoughts. Brush the objections aside. In a different direction. Turn aside. Placed or kept separate and distinct as for a purpose. A day set aside for relaxing. Not taken into account or excluded from consideration. All joking aside, I think you're crazy. In reserve, not for immediate use. Started setting aside money to buy a car. A message that departs from the main subject. A line spoken by an actor to the audience but not intended for others on the stage. Into parts or pieces. Torn asunder. Widely separated, especially in space. As wide asunder as pole from pole. Being or feeling set or kept apart from others. Could not remain the isolated figure he had been. Under forced isolation, especially for health reasons. Isolated patients. Marked by separation ever from usually contiguous elements. Little isolated worlds, as abruptly disjunct and unexpected as a palm-shaded well in the Sahara. Remote and separate physically or socially. Tiny isolated villages remote from centers of civilization. Cut off or left behind. An isolated pawn. Not close together in time. Isolated instances of rebellion. Not drawing attention. An obscure flaw. Make undecipherable or imperceptible by obscuring or concealing. Not famous or acclaimed. An obscure family. Not clearly expressed or understood. An obscure turn of phrase. Make unclear, indistinct, or blurred. Make obscure or unclear. The distinction was obscured. Make less visible or unclear. The stars are obscured by the clouds. Marked by difficulty of style or expression. Those who do not appreciate Kafka's work say his style is obscure. Remote and separate physically or socially. An obscure village. Difficult to find. An obscure retreat. Reduce a vowel to a neutral one, such as a schwa. Lacking orderly continuity. Not connected by birth or family. Not joined or linked together. Treat differently on the basis of sex or race. Act as a barrier between. Stand between. Have the connection undone, having become separate. Arrange or order by classes or categories. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Separate into parts or portions. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The couple separated after 25 years of marriage. Force, take, or pull apart. He separated the fighting children. Divide into 2 or more branches so as to form a fork. Make a division or separation. Go one's own way. Move apart. The friends separated after the party. Standing apart. Not attached to or supported by anything. A house with a separate garage. Mark as different. Come apart. The 2 pieces that we had glued separated. A separately printed article that originally appeared in a larger publication. A garment that can be purchased separately and worn in combinations with other garments. Divide into components or constituents. Independent. Not united or joint. A problem consisting of 2 separate issues. Separated according to race, sex, class, or religion. Separate but equal.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.